Stop scrolling. Forget jets, missiles, and flashy headlines for a second. In 2026, Pakistan is quietly tackling a capability gap it has lived with for decades. One that could decide the outcome of wars before the first bullet is fired. I'm talking about helicopters, but not just flying them. Pakistan is finally moving toward a sovereign rotary-wing ecosystem, and the key isn't a single purchase. It's a partnership with Türkiye that goes far deeper than the headlines. By the end of this video, you'll know why Pakistan's helicopter fleet has been a hidden vulnerability until now, how the recently inducted Z-10ME solves an immediate problem but doesn't deliver sovereignty, why Turkey's T929, ATAK-II, and utility projects matter for Pakistan's long-term industrial soul, how NASTP is turning maintenance capability into a full helicopter ecosystem, why utility helicopters may quietly decide the next conflict. Stick with me, and you'll understand one of Pakistan's most important defense moves, quietly, deliberately, and strategically. Part 1. Helicopters, Pakistan's hidden weak spot. Here's the hard truth. Until recently, every helicopter Pakistan flew was imported. Army aviation, naval aviation, Air Force rotary units, all foreign. Yes, Pakistan could maintain them, keep them flying longer than expected, but that's the limit. The design authority is foreign. The production lines, foreign. The spare parts, political leverage. That is not sovereignty. Helicopters aren't optional anymore. They control battlefield mobility, close air support, special forces insertion, maritime patrol, disaster response, and logistics in inaccessible terrain. The 2025 to 2026 reality check, Pakistan has now inducted Chinese Z-10ME attack helicopters. They replace aging Cobras and fill the immediate combat gap. But here's the nuance. The Z-10ME is a purchase. The Turkish cooperation is about building Pakistan's industrial soul. Jets get headlines. Helicopters quietly decide wars. Part 2. Why Pakistan couldn't do this alone. Helicopter manufacturing is insanely complex. High-vibration airframes, gearbox engineering, rotor dynamics, flight control integration, and survivability systems. A clean sheet program would have meant 7 to 10 years of development with massive upfront costs and very high failure risk. This way, platforms already obsolete before induction. That's why Pakistan didn't rush. It waited and strategically. Now the strategy is practical indigenization, not symbolic independence. Part 3. Why Türkiye is the perfect partner. Türkiye isn't just selling hardware. Türkiye has walked the path Pakistan wants to follow. They started with licensed production and built supplier networks with trained engineers on real programs. They also moved to indigenous designs. Today, Türkiye fields both utility and attack helicopters and is developing next-generation platforms. Pakistan isn't buying a helicopter. Pakistan is buying a learning curve. Part 4, the 2025-2026 context. The high-level summits of late 2025 changed the game. We aren't talking about brochures anymore. We're talking about joint standing committees, JSCs, industrial roadmaps, and coordinated objectives for the next decade. By 2026, the focus has shifted from just buying a platform to strategic industrial alignment, ensuring NASTP, National Aerospace Science and Technology Park, is synced with Türkiye's production lines. This is where capability meets sovereignty. Part 5, Attack Helicopter. Pivot, Z-10ME versus T929, ATAK-II. Immediate reality, Z-10ME is here, replacing Cobras. It solves the short-term combat gap. But for long-term solution, Turkish T929, ATAK-II, the heavy helicopter Pakistan has its eyes on. But the question is, why T929? ITAR-free engines, Ukrainian-derived, no U.S. veto, no sanctions risk. Opportunity to influence design, sensor integration, survivability. Alignment with Pakistan's industrial base, the T929 will be co-produced, not just purchased. This is rare. Most customers can only adapt after induction. Pakistan adapts before finalization, giving platforms relevance beyond 2035. Part 6, Utility Helicopters, the silent priority. Attack helicopters get headlines. Utility helicopters keep the military running. Pakistan operates across mountains, deserts, cities, and coastlines. Utility fleets are aging. Local production means faster spares with shorter downtime and predictable availability. They provide dual-use benefits for civilian aviation and disaster relief. Here, the industrial base becomes economically sustainable, not just militarily. Section 7, full indigenous design is dangerous, but NASTP is key. There's a common argument Pakistan should design its own helicopter from scratch. Sounds patriotic, dangerous. Defense tech doesn't pause while you learn. Pakistan isn't waiting idly. NASP camera is being used to transform the MRO ecosystem into something bigger, the Jinnah-class equivalent for helicopters. Smart sequence, manufacture, integrate, sustain, modify, then design. This is how Pakistan succeeded in aerospace before. Helicopters are just the last gap. Part 8. Strategic impact. This strategic pact delivers the operational resilience, reduced exposure to supply shocks and industrial depth, a new pillar for Pakistan's defense industry. Long-term independence, real design authority built on experience. Pakistan isn't reacting to a single threat. It's aligning its aviation ecosystem for the next 2 decades. Jets get headlines. Helicopters win wars quietly. The Pakistan-Türkiye helicopter cooperation is not a purchase. It's a foundation for strategic independence. Stick with this path, and rotary-wing aviation may soon stop being Pakistan's most vulnerable domain. That's the move most people won't notice, but could change everything. If you want serious defense analysis without the noise, subscribe. We'll track where Pakistan's air power is actually going, not where the headlines claim, and I'll see you in the next